Hello, everyone. It feels like today's going on forever.
It does feel like it, and it's a Thursday, so it does. It totally feels like it is just a never-ending day.
It does. Because all you wish it was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I have a shirt, and it has Jason Voorhees on it.
Oh, nice.
And it says, I wish it was Friday.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I have my machete ready.
Yes. Speaking of Friday the 13th, what are we talking about today, Mom?
Today, we are talking about the wonderful world of syphilis.
Yay!
Okay, so syphilis is a sexually transmitted bacterial infection. It is actually on the rise in Canada. Be very, very aware of this. It has made a huge comeback. And so it can be transmitted anally, vaginally, and orally. You can also pass it on to an unborn baby if you haven't been tested.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why it's important to get tested.
It is, absolutely. So it can also be transmitted through sharing of needles as well as broken skin. So if I have a cut and you have a cut, we can share it through that as well.
Yeah, I would suggest not, like, rubbing our cuts together.
Normally that doesn't happen, but you know,
but like if you're on a ride at like a theme park,
absolutely. I mean, anything
could happen.
Get up
close to them and you go, "Hey."
Anything could happen. You never know. So getting tested and getting treated, always the best thing. So in our little series about STDs and STBBIs, this one is the last one that we're doing that is actually treatable. So you can take antibiotics in order to treat syphilis. Mm-hmm. Does not mean that you can't get it again if you are interacting with somebody who is still infected with syphilis. But it does mean that it is treatable and you can clear your system of it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So syphilis cases were actually pretty rare up until about 2001. And for some reason, an outbreak occurred and it has been on the rise in urban centers across the country. And of course, it is also on the rise where people are very, let's say, transient. So you have workers coming in and then going back home and workers coming in and going back home. So you have places that have a high syphilis rate, such as, say, i.e. Grand Prairie, or not Grand Prairie.
Got Grand Prairie on mine there.
I do have Grand Prairie because my husband just went up there. So, but like Fort McMurray. Okay, mm-hmm. Fort McMurray is a very transient place because you have a lot of workers going in to go and work in the oil field and then going back home. And it is kind of like a wave type thing. So they go in, they come out, they go in, they come out. They go in.
Oh, do they? I'm sure they do.
And of course, unfortunately, just like every other STD that we have discussed so far, people are not using personal protection and like using condoms, using female condoms, dental dams. Because it is so transmittable, it would be best if, you know, we did use those specific things. As well as this specific one, instead of being a young, like more younger population being affected by it, this one is actually for the highest population that is getting infected with syphilis is actually men over 30.
Oh, geez.
which is very different from gonorrhea and chlamydia.
Yeah, those are mostly like the 18 to like
Very much for the younger
25.
individuals. Yeah. So syphilis can be treated, can be diagnosed, I guess, more accurately, is through a blood test. Okay. So you actually have to have blood drawn, and then you will get the treatment that the physician suggests. If you leave syphilis untreated, if you do not go and get tested, there are 4 stages that syphilis will move through. 4.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my.
And they're not fun. They're not fun. So the first one, the very first stage, is some painless sores that can happen, or that will happen at the site of infection. So that means if you are infected by giving oral sex, the sores will form around your mouth.
So it will look like you've suction cupped your lips.
Quite possibly. Yeah, you'll get sores around your lips. Yep. Mm-hmm. Or you can get them around the anus or rectum. Oh. So around your butt.
Ow.
You can also get them around your vagina, as well as your penis. So these sores will normally heal themselves after 3 to 4 weeks or 3 to 6 weeks, but you can still spread the infection. Again, easily treatable with some medication. So the secondary syphilis, you might get.
So
this is stage 2. Yep. So stage 2. So you've completely ignored the sores that have happened wherever the infection occurred, and it has continued on.
So stage 2.
Stage 2. So you can get rough, kind of reddish brown rashes on your hands, as well as the soles of your feet. Say swollen lymph nodes, a fever, sore throat, possibly hair loss, headaches, body aches, extreme tiredness, so like fatigue. These symptoms, again, will go away even if you don't get treated. But if you're not treated, still infectious. You can still pass this on to other people, to your partners. And your infection will just get worse. So remember, I said there are 4 stages. So we're going to go.
Stage 2.
We're going to go on to stage 3. So this is a latent stage of syphilis. So the bacteria can still survive in your body. And at this point, you may have no signs or symptoms. However, syphilis can still be in your heart, your brain, nerves, your bones, and other parts of your bodies. And this stage can last for years. So again, please go get tested.
Yes.
Not everyone who has syphilis will enter this stage of infection. Most people will go into the tertiary stage.
Oh, is that stage 4?
Tertiary is stage 4. And it is the nastiest stage. Very, very, very nasty.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want this information, please let us know so that Condom Lady can send you these slides. These will scare you into getting tested.
Yeah, they're not nice. Definitely, the sooner you go get tested, the better. So the tertiary stage, so this is the last stage of syphilis.
I like to call it the zombie stage.
It can, so there are several prominent figures throughout our history who have had syphilis, and they've kind of gone because syphilis can affect your brain, it can affect the way that you think. So there's been forms of dementia from it, vision problems. So basically, you can start to go blind from having syphilis. You can have problems controlling your muscle movements, even numbness in your body. This stage is you're not contagious at this point, but the infection has actually started to affect your organs. It can cause death at this point. It is really, really important to take care of your sexual health. And I can't stress enough, due to the fact that syphilis has kind of had an outbreak, especially here in Alberta, that we really need to make sure that we're going in and getting tested, because nobody wants to look like this. Nobody wants to have syphilis attacking them for years and years and years. Not to mention, you know, it can be spreading to your partners that you've had. We just don't want that. So definitely testing is a very important thing. You don't want to spread this to your children. Like if you're having babies, if you're at that point in your life, go get tested. It's not hard. It is super easy to go get tested, especially if you have an STD clinic like what we have. They are fantastic. They're super non-judgmental. Just wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else that I need to tell you about syphilis?
Should describe those pictures that I see.
No. Nobody wants to see those. If you want to see the pictures that I have, that's cool. Actually, send me.
Just picture a zombie, and you. Yep.
Yeah. Send me an email at condomlady2021@gmail.com, and I can actually send you my slides that I have, and you can actually see what can happen if you don't get tested.
Yeah.
Syphilis is also referred to as a great imitator as an infection, because the symptoms are so wide ranged in most people that are infected. They can be confused with other conditions. So the only way to tell, of course, just like I preach all the time, go get tested.
Go get tested.
Get yourself to a clinic. Get yourself tested. Because seriously, we can stop the increase of syphilis here in Canada, here in Alberta, by making sure that we use condoms, female condoms, dental dams, all of that kind of stuff. We can make sure that we are very careful. We could wipe out STDs.
Yeah.
So come on, people.
That'd be awesome.
Go get tested. Use your condoms. So if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a shout.
Yes. And what are we going to be talking about next time so that our lovely audience can be prepared?
I'm thinking that next week we are going to talk about the different kind of condoms that are out there.
Ooh.
Different kind of sexual health protection.
You might want to listen in on this.
And ladies, you too, because we'll showcase some female condoms. We will even have, hopefully, pictures within our podcast so that you can see what each of the condoms that we have specifically at Shining Mountains. We have some very cool ones that give you a tattoo on your penis. I've heard they're very fun. Ones that are very
glow in the dark.
We have some glow in the dark ones. We have some ones that feel like they are non-existent. We have some colored ones, some flavored ones, as well as we also have female condoms. So we will show those, and we will show, instructions as to how to use all of these items.
Yes.
So that will be our next week podcast. I hope y'all had a wonderful time. Please make sure to use...
Oh, alarm's going off.
Yep. Sorry, guys. Please make sure to use your sexual health protection each and every week. Have fun, enjoy yourselves, but be protected.
Yes. We will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.